Unit 2 Study Guide. For questions 1 through 4, we're going to find the slope, y-intercept, and the equation. We're going to show our work. All right, so I'm going to start by finding the slope. Actually, I stand corrected. I'm going to first solve for the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is located right here, and that's at 0, 3. And in this case, I just found the value of 3. And that's because my y-intercept is 0, b. All right, now we're going to find the slope. The slope is our rise divided by our run. So that means what are we going up divided by what we're going to the right. So if I start at this point on the y-axis, my y-intercept, I go up 1, 2, and I go to the right 1. So slope, as a reminder, is rise divided by run, which means I'm rising up 2, I'm running 1, which simplifies down to 2. Well, then for the equation, I'm using y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to fill in my m and b values. So it becomes y equals 2x plus 3. All right, moving on to number 2. I'm going to start by finding my y-intercept. Well, my y-axis is right here, and this is where I have my y-intercept. So that's at 0, 2. Or in this case, just 2. Then my slope, well, my next point is located to the right here, and I'm going down 1 to the right 2. To show going down, I'd use my negative number, and going right 2 is positive. So that means my slope, which again is rise divided by the run, is negative 1 divided by 2. So that's my slope. So my equation becomes y equals mx plus b. I'm replacing my m and my b values. So y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2. Moving on to number 3. My y-intercept is at this point right here, negative 1. So I'm just going to write the point negative 1. You could have also written 0, negative 1 equals negative 1, whichever way you want. For the slope, well, I'm going up 2, and I'm going to the right 3. So my rise divided by my run, up 2 to the right 3, that means my slope is 2/3. So if I take my equation, y equals mx plus b, I'm going to replace my slope and y-intercept. So y equals 2/3 x plus negative 1. And I know everyone right now is like, oh, no, it needs to be minus 1. That is true. Y equals 2/3 x minus 1. Because we can't have a plus and negative, so you have to simplify that. All right, next problem. Finding my y-intercept. That's at 0, 5, which is just 5. Then my slope, well, the next point that hits is right here. So I go down 2 to the right 1. So down 2 to the right 1, that means my slope is negative 2 divided by 1, or reduced down to negative 2. Y equals mx plus b. So y equals negative 2x plus 5. Let me emphasize that a little better. Let's move on. Question 5 through 8, we're going to graph the following equations using slope-intercept form. Number 5, well, as a reminder, I'm going to write down my steps of how to do this. 1, find the y-intercept. Second step, find the slope. Third step, graph the y-intercept. Fourth step, use the slope to graph at least 2 more points. Fifth step, connect points with a line. Okay, so for problem number 5, my first step is to find the y-intercept, which in this case is going to be 3. And if it helps, you can also write below this equation y equals mx plus b. So again, my b value is going to be 3. Or 0, 3, whichever is going to help you remember. Second step is to find the slope. Well, this is going to be -2, or in this case, -2 divided by 1, because that's your rise divided by your run. You rise down 2, and you run 1 to the right. So I'm going to graph that. For step 3, I'm going to graph the y-intercept. So 0, 3, and that's right here. And then I'm going to use my slope of going down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1. Now I have my needed 3 points. If you wanted, you could go back and you could continue. I'm going to draw a straight line through these to connect them. Okay. All right, number 6, following the same directions as before. All right, I'm going to find the y-intercept, which is at -2, -0, -2. Then I'm going to find the slope. The slope is 1/4. That means I'm going to go up 1 to the right 4. Step number 3 is to graph the y-intercept. So that's at 0, -2. And then I'm going to use the slope to at least 2 more points. So I'm going to go up 1 to the right 4. I'm going to go up 1 to the right 1, 2. Okay, well, I can't go up 1 to the right 4. So I need to go back to my y-intercept. And I need to do the opposite. I need to go down 1 to the left 4. And then I'm going to draw a straight line through this. Ooh, I don't like that line. I'll redo it. There we go, much better. All right, continuing. Ooh. Oops. Number 7. Again, following the same steps. I'm first going to find my y-intercept. Well, actually, this one is slightly different, and that is because of this minus sign right there. So I'm going to change my equation to make it say y equals mx plus b. So y equals 5x plus -4. Okay, so that helps me. So my y-intercept is -4, which is the same thing as 0, -4. My slope is 5, or 5 divided by 1. Third step is to plot my y-intercept, 0, -4. Then my slope, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right 1. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right 1. And again, that's because I have a positive 5, indicating going up 5, and a positive 1, meaning going to the right 1. And I'm going to connect my points. All right, number 8. Y equals -5 halves x plus 3. Step 1 is identify the y-intercept, which is at 3. Or is the ordered pair written? 0. Step number 2 is to find the slope. Slope is -5 halves. That means I'm going to be going down 5 every time I go to the right 2. And if it helps, you can always write y equals mx plus b above all these equations. Again, you guys need to create the problems in a way that is most effective for you. All right, going back to problem number 8, I'm going to graph 0, 3, because that's my y-intercept. And then I'm going to use my slope of going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right 1, 2. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right 2. And I'm going to go ahead and connect my points. Continuing. Number 9a, we're going to find the slope and the y-intercept. Well, this equation is not written in slope-intercept, so we need to make it say y equals mx plus b. So 2 plus y equals 3x. My goal is to get this y by itself. So that means I'm going to get rid of this 2. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. The left side, I'm left with 0 plus y equals 3x minus 2. The left side is simplified down to y equals 3x minus 2. Okay, so this is now written in slope-intercept form. My slope, well, hold on, y equals mx plus b. My slope is going to be 3. And my y-intercept, I'm going to check that out in a minute. All right, so the slope is 3. Then for the y-intercept, because this doesn't say plus b, I'm going to go back and I'm going to change it and make that plus negative 2. So that gives my y-intercept a value of negative 2. All right, so that's 9a. 9b, graph the equation. All right, well, just like I was doing on the previous page, I want to follow the same steps. If I have to, I can go back and I can look at it. So first, find the y-intercept. Second, find the slope. Well, we already did that. Third step is to graph the y-intercept. Fourth step is to use the slope to graph at least 2 more points. And the fifth step is to connect points with a line. First 2 steps we've already identified. Step number 3 is to graph the y-intercept. Well, if it helps, you can rewrite that as 0, negative 2 as an ordered pair. So 0, negative 2. And then my slope, I'm going to rewrite as 3 divided by 1. So I know I'm going up 3 every time I go to the right one. So starting at my y-intercept, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3 to the right one. I go up 1, 2, 3 to the right one. So I have my required 3 points. I could have kept going if I wanted. All right. Let's try 10a. Find the slope and the y-intercept. Well, again, I want it to be in slope-intercept form. So y minus 2x equals negative 5. Well, I'm going to add 2x to both sides. And that leaves my left side with y equals negative 5 plus 2x. Well, right now this doesn't say y equals mx plus b. It says y equals b plus mx. And again, we're not BMX writers, so we're going to actually change the order of this. We're going to rewrite the equation y equals 2x plus negative 5. And I know you're thinking, wait, we can't leave it like that. Of course we can't. That's why we're going to simplify it. Y equals 2x minus 5. Again, we can't leave it as plus negative. Okay, so now we can go in and we can identify the slope and the y-intercept. So y equals mx plus b. My slope is going to be a 2. And then the y-intercept, well, it doesn't say plus b. So if I go in here, make that plus negative 5. Then my y-intercept becomes a negative 5. All right, so those are the first 2 steps. Now 10b is asking for graphing the equation. So the third step is to graph our y-intercept. So I'm going to label that 0, negative 5. Then I'm going to plot 0, negative 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm using the slope of going, well, hold on, 2 divided by 1. So this tells me I go up 2 to the right one. Up 2 to the right one. Up 2 to the right one. I have my 3 needed points. So now I'm going to go ahead and draw a line. All right, number 11. You rent a limo for $200 and $30 per hour. Write an equation in slope-intercept form. y equals mx plus b. Well, we had to figure out what our m value is and what our b value is. So typically, our m value is going to be a rate of change. Or, I'm sorry, our m value, our slope, is a rate of change. And then our b value is just the amount you're going to pay no matter what. So for number 11, when you reread it, it says you rent a limo for $200. Well, this $200 you had to pay no matter what, even if you only have the limo for 10 minutes. You got to pay $200. So that's going to be our B value. Then it's $30 per hour. So that's going to be our M value. So this equation becomes y equals 30x plus 200. All right, number 12. The taxi cab charges $1 per minute and $8 flat fee for a pickup. Write an equation in slope-intercept form. Again, we're going to use y equals mx plus b. Let's see, a taxi cab charges $1 per mile. So that's going to be m. It's a flat $8 fee, so that's going to be our b. So no matter what, as soon as you get into the taxi, you're going to owe them $8. Then it's an additional $1 per mile. So y equals 1x plus 8, or y equals x plus 8. The equation on the right side is simplified, but either of them will work. Great job.